Alright, let's get to my review of Mad Max Fury Road. That's my best impression of Tom Hardy. In this movie, and Lawless, and Warrior, he's kind of one note with his voice, I guess. It's kind of like that. Except the Bane. That was quite different. But in the end, here's my review of Mad Max Fury Road. And if you remember my thoughts on the trailer that I first saw this in September, you know I was really fucking packed to see this movie. I was really hyped. I thought the trailers were phenomenal. I personally thought the trailers were phenomenal, and I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to see this. I'm ready to see this. I saw great reviews of this movie already online. I've seen so many people just praising the hell out of this movie. This movie has a 96 or 98, 96, 98, something like that, on Rotten Tomatoes. And in the end, you must be asking me, like, is this movie worth it? Is it disappointing? Is it or is it not? This movie is not disappointing at all. This movie fucking rocked. This movie was incredibly awesome. I loved the hell out of it. I will genuinely say that I love this movie. I'm straight up saying this. This is my favorite movie of the year so far. I feel like I can go back there and watch it again. It's visually compelling. The cinematography and the directing are phenomenal. The acting is fantastic. Tom Hardy is phenomenal as Mad Max. I love he gives it this character such weight, such gravitas, and such a tragic feel for him. Like he's very much of this tragic, really beat up, like this man. This is a man who's been through a lot. He's been through a ton of things, and you just don't want to screw with him. He's clearly shown that many times within this movie, and he really plays this grim, kind of really beat up type of destroying man with a very tragic backstory. Even though they don't give it away, there's very subtle hints within the movie. I really love that. It was very smart, subtle hints. Like you get flashes of this little girl. I was like that, and I thought it was brilliant. And I don't know any speculation, but I'm thinking that could be his daughter, and that could be explored within the sequel. And I love how tough he was. But a lot of people say the standout actor or actress in this movie is Charlize Theron as Furiosa, and she's phenomenal. She's really phenomenal, and the big hype around her is truly, really well deserving. And you're gonna hear it once again from me if you've seen so many reviews of this movie. Is that she really is phenomenal in this role. She plays her so tragically and so emotionally involved and so heartbroken in moments. Like there's a sense that she really wants to get these wives away from this furious type of overlord, war-bounded type of maniacal sociopath who's going to get them all done and basically kill anyone who comes in his way to get his wife's slaves back. There's like 5 of them, and it's kind of like, okay, there's one thing that's actually on my mind. I want to say that, for me at least, that's really on my mind right now, and that is, Bonnie, I'm not, okay, this, maybe not, because this is a bit of a spoiler, so maybe maybe I'm not so sure, maybe I will make, a spoiler heavy film video of Mad Max Fury Road, because I love this movie that much. Yes, I know that the Avengers didn't get one, but whatever. What I said to you before, like, the warlord trying to get his slaves' wives back, that's basically the story. And I love this movie. I cannot express to you how much I love this movie. The color palette is excellent. The cinematography, the directing is phenomenal. I love how it does with the comic tricks and all that type of stuff. It homages a bunch of other film techniques within Hollywood we see today. The long tracking shot, the in and out and shot, the over-scoping shot, the high shot, the low shots, all these brilliant shots. And you can truly see that the director, George Miller, is taking a long note of what younger directors do not do. A 70-year-old director, a veteran director, is a much better director than an average 20, 30-year-old director right now. Like, I won't say Christopher Nolan because he's a damn great director, but somewhere along that line, like Fincher, maybe something like that. But even though George Miller is not really considered one of the all-time greatest directors, like for Coppola or Spielberg or Chaplin or Orson Welles, he's definitely out there in my view. He's definitely one of the most innovative and brilliant directors out there. And sadly, I have not seen any of the original Mad Max movies. I feel so fucking ashamed of myself seeing it on camera. I really feel very fucking bad for not seeing them. I wanted to get them. I wanted to get those movies this weekend before I could see this movie, but I couldn't because it was Victoria Day here in Canada, and the libraries were closed, and I just feel fucking shit. I'm sorry. I kind of lashed out. But I just really feel genuinely bad that I have not seen the originals. I feel just really fucking terrible. I really, really do mean that. I feel seriously guilty because of that. And, oh my god, I don't know. I'm just saying, this is my introduction to Mad Max, and it's a damn freaking great start. It really, really is. And by the way, if you would, when I saw this in 3D, would I recommend it in 3D? Well, there's some good moments they do show it in 3D. I'm like, that was pretty cool, and I do like that. However, would I overall recommend it in 3D? Probably not. Oh, shit. Oops. Making all. But this movie just walked my fucking socks off. It was just incredible. It was one of the most incredible movie experiences I've ever seen in my life. It's one of the best movies. It's, in my view, by far the best movie of this year so far. Yes, I've shown other movies before, but this is the one that really tops it. I love the story. I love the characters. To me, at least, I loved how Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron kind of balance each other out. Yes, Charlize Theron she, in her own way, probably gave him the more outstanding performance. But I really do love how they both really complement themselves to each other. It's like they're yin to their yang. It's like, where he's really hardened up, she's very frail. Where he's very much like a veteran in a way, she's very emotional. And they really do balance each other out perfectly. And you also have, not Eddie Redmayne, but Nicholas Hoult. Haha, thank God I remember that. And I love his character. He's so maniacal and such a sociopath in a way. And he kind of flip-flops at times because Tom Hardy's Mad Max does not trust anyone. He's constantly pointing the gun at these people for the first, hour or so. And I love that. It's a sense of, he's like, how the fuck can I trust you? He's like, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can really trust you. And I love that. To me at least, it gave him a bit. To me at least, in a way, it seemed like he went through something before, and he's kind of he's like, what's going on here? I don't know. It's like, there's a sense that he just can't trust anyone because maybe something like that happened in his past. And the subtle homages that, with that little girl and his flashes of dreams at times when they wake up, kind of like that. I already explained that before. I think maybe in a certain way that could be his daughter. That could be explored within the sequel. I really hope they do that in the sequel. I love the directing. I love the cinematography. I love the color palette. You see this color in my mouth right now, reflection of my ground here, this crimson type of bronze, gold, orange, yellow, reddish. That's basically the color palette during the day, and then at night it very much has this hazy blue look, very much like the blue like this, maybe just a little bit darker right here, that type of shade of blue. I love that. You get a really good sense Well, I'm talking about the parts in the day. Like, I love how the way the color palette looked really great on there. I love how it gave it like a certain sense of exhaustion, of heat, of a real sense of nausea because of the sun. And there's some real great long way, some shots that you would see of it being fuzzy, and that's what it looks like. I mean, when it's really, really hot outside, that very, very, very far away distance can get really messed up at times, and I loved how it really shot that. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And I'm just thinking to myself, what else do I love? I love the cast, I really do. I love the directing, I really love it. The color palette, oh yeah, the color palette during the night, I love it. Like how I said that this almost a little bit darker. To me at least, I love that. You give it a sense of, I won't say cold, but there's a sense of shade. There's a sense of, it's not going to be as exhausting. It gives it a sense of cooler feel, even though those moments were great. They were all great. But let's get to the elephant in the room. The action. Let's talk about some action giants. But I don't know if I would honestly count Raiders of the Lost Ark as one, but I don't know. Terminator 2, Die Hard, Predator, Aliens, Rambo First Blood, Matrix, Return of the King, The Dark Knight, The Avengers, The Raid Redemption, and The Raid Bernardo. And now this is wrong. In my view, one of the top tier greatest action movies of all time. The action is just so phenomenal. The use of practical effects, about like 85% of the time in this movie, is basically practical effects. And I genuinely loved those effects. The use of practical effects were just absolutely brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. And a big applaud and a big respect to George Miller for doing that. I really do admire and respect him when he uses so much practical effects. Yes, there's CG challenges, and if anything, those CG effects were freaking really great and very believable. And there's a great sense of atmosphere too. The action is among one of the top tier of all time. The quick cuts, the edits, the music, the sound, the effects, all these trucks being seen almost practical effects at times. You know, and maybe they had to see it, the CG it appropriately. Just Mad Max Fury Road is just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And the ending I also really love too. Again, I'm not giving it away. I'm not so sure I'll get. If anything, I'm not so sure. I may not give a spoiler-filled review of this movie, but Mad Max Fury Road is by far the best movie of 2014 right now. Just, yeah, I don't need to see any more movies. It's done. I can really create my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Okay, not top 10 yet, that's for sure, but the year's done. And Mad Max Fury Road was incredible. The best film of the year so far, and among one of the best action movies of the decade, maybe even of all time now. And Mad Max Fury Road, I genuinely love it. The pacing is also great. There's a point where it kind of does slow down, but again, it feels great, and it feels authentic, and it feels incredibly well done. George Miller, like when you see the tagline in the trailer from Mastermind George Miller, you see that in the trailer. They mean that. They really do mean that. He's a mastermind, and he knows how to make this movie great. Excuse me. But in the end, I genuinely love Mad Max Fury Road. My favorite movie of the year so far, and that's it, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed my review of Mad Max Fury Road. I really hope you enjoy it. If you haven't seen this movie already, I would clearly, honestly recommend it by now. I love it. I love this movie. have little to no problems whatsoever. Although there is some things on my mind. I'm just like, wait, they kind of forgot about something there. Oh well. But in the end, yes, I do maybe at times, and I do admit the film is not for everyone. Like, it is a perfectly rated PG-14 up movie. Like, it's not a hard R, but it's truly not for younger viewers. Like, if you're 14 and up, then I would say see this movie if you can. Of course, with parental vision, and all of that stuff. But in the end, my next Fury Road, I do have some things in my mind. I'm like, wait, this makes sense, like that. But putting that aside, this is one of the best movie experiences I've ever seen. I was constantly edge of my seat, and Mad Max Fury Road, in my mind, gets 100%. The first 100% of this year. And hopefully, there'll be a movie this year that can top that. I don't think it will. This probably will be my favorite movie of this year. I don't know when any movie will top it. I really don't know when. Till then, everyone, thank you for watching my videos, and click subscribe for more future videos. I'm out. I love it. I just love this movie.